Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe. Thanks for your support on Patreon, the Blakesman Carpi Craftsman. Rowan gets a squash match. Andrade gets a squash match. Aleister Black, he also gets a squash match. Yeah, not much happened on this week's show, but there has been some major WrestleMania 36 plans leaked. Click the timestamps below to jump to any of those stories right now. I'm Ollie Davis, and welcome to the 2nd of December 2019 Raw in about 4 minutes. Caruso alert! AOP have arrived at their destination. Charlie asked why they attacked Kevin Owens last week, and they answered in a foreign language. The dastardly heels! Why they not speak English like me? Then the guy AOP appeared to help last week, Seth Rollins, opened the main part of the show with an in-ring apology to the Raw roster, all us fans, and most importantly, Kevin Owens, where he denied he had anything to do with AOP's beatdown of KO last Monday. KO said, "That's such good bull S-word," and then refused to team with Rollins against AOP because he's an actually smart babyface who realizes they'll all likely just beat him up. KO came across pretty well, and Seth furthered his slow burn heel turn. But the best thing about this segment was that we've got a new Seth Rollins isn't cool slogan: Seth rides e-scooters. Bless you for your trolling, young fan. Bless you. With no AOP or Seth to fight, Bobby Lashley answered KO's challenge instead. But just as Owens had the match won, AOP attacked him for the DQ, dragged him up the ramp and out the arena to never be seen again. Seriously, it was never followed up on. And there were police officers right there at ringside for Lana's restraining order on Rusev. Not that they care about doing their job, because they let Rusev kick, Rusev run away from Lashley, and then arrested both Bobby and Lana when they shoulder bumped the Popo. Whoop whoop. Next up came the first of 5 squash matches. Drew McIntyre took on Raw's now resident looks good in defeat man Akira Tozawa, beating him relatively easily. For Drew to call out Randy Orton from out of nowhere for being passive aggressive on social media. You're complaining about wrestlers on social media and you call out Orton. I can't think of anyone else who that would apply to. Drew said the Claymore from out of nowhere is now cooler than the RKO from out of nowhere, which is a neat thing to build a feud around. But their interaction just weirdly fizzled out. The OC interrupted because Orton cost AJ Styles his US title last week, so Drew just walked off, making the last 5 minutes of the promo feel kind of pointless. Wrestling stuff happened, and it set up Rey Mysterio, Humberto Carrillo, and Ricochet versus the OC for the main event. Squash match 2 out of 5, as in 2 out of 5 live. As with that show slowly fading into cancellation, its wrestlers are now readily available to be beaten by main roster talent on a weekly basis. Aleister Black beat Tony Nese with a black mass here. Caruso alert! For Buddy Murphy to tell Charlie backstage that he's going to calm him down. Calm him down. Calm him down. Calm down. Squash match 3 out of 5. And Eric Young is still with WWE. I just assumed he asked for his release on Twitter, but no, that was literally everyone else. Young got a decent comeback, reminding me how much I like him, but Andrade won with both zero Zelina Vega help or any actual storyline progression. R-Truth then lost his 24/7 championship to NASCAR Cup Series champion Kyle Busch to hardly any reaction from the crowd, which Truth would win back after the show. Caruso alert! Charlie asked Seth why he didn't help KO, who answered with both justifiably heelish content and delivery. He's damned if he does, he's damned if he doesn't. Everyone wants to critique, but nobody has the guts to be a leader. I love the idea of Seth's delusional locker room leader. And while the heel turn wasn't fully solidified this week, I much prefer this character arc being told over time. Rowan beat No Way Jose and his sex party conga line in squash match 4 out of 5. He's still doing the weird pet thing, which not Renee Young tried to get to the bottom of with this hard-hitting journalism. What's in the box? What's in the box, Eric? Tell me. What's in the box? Charlotte Flair then took on both Asuka and Kairi Sane in a 2-on-1 handicap match, both of the current women's tag team champions. This was actually really good babyface booking for Charlotte. What she lacked in numbers, she made up for in fiery anger. She had some awesome looking spots like a double spear worthy of a near fall, and the match got time with the Kabuki Warriors cheating constantly. But just like how WWE's babyface booking of Roman Reigns used to be technically very good, it all falls down because it's using using the wrong people. Charlotte is still a heel in my eyes and occupies the same overpushed company favourite slot as Roman, so structuring her as the babyface in a match, no matter how technically good that is on paper, is an uphill struggle because I'm organically into Asuka and Sane and organically against her. It was great babyface booking, just with the wrong person. Your fifth and final squash match of the night is the Viking Don't Mention the War Experience! Raiders beating another pair of random enhancement talents. This isn't getting over, no matter how much the Raiders scream, "Are you watching?" at the camera, which seems to be their new thing now. Presumably just to see if anyone is actually watching. And the main event was a typically fun six-man tag with AJ Styles pinning Ricochet off an Avalanche Styles clash. The OC are excellent heels, and pinning them against increasingly faster and more athletic hot tags with Rey Mysterio, Carrillo and Ricochet leveled up the action every couple of minutes. And in one of the only bits of storyline progression on this episode, Randy Orton appeared from out quite clearly the background of the shot to hit an RKO on AJ to close the show. That was this week's Raw in about 4 minutes, but again, probably 5. Click the eye above my head to let me know what you thought of the show, where you can choose from Rawsome, Core, Average, Poor, and Rawful. While there was nothing actively wrong with this episode, there was nothing actively good about it either. It was bland, repetitive with squash matches, and almost totally void of any storyline progression. All that intrigue set up in last week's show was poorly followed up on, and rather frustratingly, the TLC Go Home show is next week, and there's nothing announced for the pay-per-view. This week's Raw is poor. But at least WrestleMania 36 will have some good matches, right? Right?
Thanks, Ollie, good stuff. It's news time though, and things are starting to get really rather exciting around the old rumour mill. Because as we come towards the end of the year and are just over a month away from the Royal Rumble, talk inevitably turns to who is having whomst out for a fight at WrestleMania. And rumour has it that WWE has 2 options in mind for Brock Lesnar's opponent at WrestleMania 36, aka Wrestle of the Caribbean Deadmania Chest. According to TalkSport, Brock could be going toe-to-peg-leg in a pirate duel with either Cain Velasquez or Tyson Fury on the grandest vessel of them all. Now, the Cain match would be a rubber match following up from that disappointing showing at Crown Jewel, where a man who legitimately beat Brock in an actual fight tapped out really rather super quickly and was made to look like such a goon he is still in exile from the shame of it all. Now, Tyson's would be a brand new matchup, but one that I can't really say I'm legitimately excited about after seeing the whole Braun Strowman fiasco at Crown Jewel. A match that went too long, Fury hadn't had enough training for, and his opponent wasn't quite experienced enough to make look good. This kind of sound like that Crown Jewel show was a bad one, doesn't it? Of the 2 options of opponents, the Tyson Fury match is said to be more likely if he wins a planned fight with Deontay Wilder to win the WBC Heavyweight Championship after their initial bout for the boxing title was controversially ruled a draw. But for my WWE Network money, I'd like to see Kane take another run at the champ and have something much more akin to, I don't know, a pro wrestling match rather than the sort of weird MMA style brawl that was over in seconds that we got. Especially as Velasquez has picked up his first win in WWE at a house show in Mexico, teaming with Humberto Carrillo against the OC's Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, and also the fact that he knows some pretty boss luchador moves. Now, just to quickly temper that wishful thinking, there are reports coming out of this house show that Kane may have to undergo knee surgery sooner rather than later. Though, if this happens ASAP, then he may be cleared in time to compete at Mania Treasure Island. But let me know who you would like to see take on Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 36 in the comments down below, because I'll be replying to them from out of my desk with a nice cup of coffee probably for the first 30 minutes after this video goes live. Anyway, speaking of Muppets, whose Treasure Island is funded by season passes and My Career Kickstart boosters, let's talk about 2K. Because I think it would be fair to say that 2K seemingly have a fairly low opinion of the game buying public, having tried to sell them the shoddily made, obviously broken, and somehow 20 years old WWE 2K20. Because the game came out in October and has garnered a lot of negative press. Quite rightly, because it's bobbins and was initially plagued with bugs and glitches that made for great YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter content, but not great customer satisfaction content. Put it this way, I wouldn't have spent my own personal money on the game. Ollie's money. I'll spend Ollie's money, sure. Now, 2K20 has been patched twice, but those seemingly haven't fixed the core issues with the games. For instance, male career mode wrestler Trey is still a dickhead. Q Trey. you. Now, former WWE SmackDown vs. Raw game series writer Justin Leeper, who has been critical of 2K20 and the entire development process since release, posted this video back in November that has been doing the rounds the last few days. In it, he claims that because of the failures of 2K20, 2K21 will likely have its budget cut, which I imagine is bound to fix all of the issues. He said, 2K and the people within it are trying to distance themselves from it. I've heard about double-digit people who are on the team who have quit. They haven't left for other stuff, they just quit because, man, I don't want this stink on me anymore. 2K20 is selling poorly, it's doing poorly all around. That means the budget is going to be cut. It means 2K21 is going to have to be made for less money. Less money to fix things, innovate, and now there are about 10 less people on the team. As you can tell, the outlook is not good for 2K21 either. Now, obviously, it's not been confirmed by 2K themselves whether they're actually be cutting the budget for 2K21 because they barely want to be talking about the game. But poor sales in the realm of gaming usually see drastic cuts being made or complete studio closures because so much dollar is on the line. And as the WWE gaming brand is down in public perception, long-term series developer Ukes have quit, Ukes to AEW confirmed, things are looking bleak for 2K21 already. Thank you for watching. Now we've got a whole load of information going on this page, like more videos to watch, patrons who deserve a good old thanking. Thank you. But also, most importantly, this link is going to take you over to WrestleTalk.com. Then if you click shop, you're going to be taken to our brand new merch store, which is selling all sorts of SWAF Nation goodies, including this t-shirt that I'm wearing right now. I mean, not this exact one. You want this one. Okay, well, I've been Ifthakador. That was Lucha.